Good morning and welcome everybody. How cool is this? Thank you to all the parties, and how great. Yes indeed, the Hamilton Motorcycle Club and the New Zealand Classic Motorcycle Racing Register with the support of the Auckland Motorcycle Club, the Wellington-based Victoria Club, all cool clubs coming together to make this Northern Road Race spectacular, an event to be remembered, and what an enjoyable weekend. And weather in Taupo, absolutely spectacular. Turbo Sound, Brad Neal, proud to be with you here for this great event, and thank you for the invite to be part of it. We acknowledge any of our sponsors on board, including those from the MNZ party of Aon and Pirelli, and of course those local and proud to be supporting the Hamilton Motorcycle Club, including Kems, and Blair from Kems will be doing a lucky draw here throughout the weekend, and we've got $150 up for cash, as well as some great automotive range of 100% Kiwi-made, state-of-the-art formulated Kems automotive product, including engine degreasers, braking parts cleaners, throttle and carburetor cleaners, automotive care, penetrants and silicons, and chain lube, to name but some. And of course, NV Motorcycles, locally based in Morrinsville. NV Motorcycles, your only local dealership to sell Husqvarna motorcycles, Motor Guzzi, and Can-Am off-road for all-terrain vehicles. Now Waikato's Triumph dealer as well. Highly specialised and trained team of qualified and well-equipped techos to look and diagnose your machines for everything that you need for motorcycling. Thank you indeed, NV Motorcycles. Another great team on board. Brad, the breeze just getting up a little bit here at Taupo. It's a beautiful park, of course, Taupo International Motorsport, and we are looking forward with our first race coming to line up, and how good it is to be back, and of course working with Ctas Live to send this coverage around the world. Road racing is back.
This is going to be something special. Yes, the Northline Road Racing Spectacular. It is a pleasure to be here. And how cool is this? We've got Formula 3 and BS Superstock coming together as a class. We've got the 650 Pro Twin Boys all mixed in there as well. So there's a couple of different classes, and we're all racing as one. So we'll keep an eye on this one here. Yeah, Dave Fellows on the TR20 Aprilia 660. He will find himself on pole, and looking at this one here at the moment. So we're ready to go, underway soon. When the lights come on, these guys will watch them all come on, and then when they go out, we go racing and get underway with the Northline Road Racing Spectacular. First race, a 6-lap trip for Formula 3 and BS Superstock.
All right, great to see as we acknowledge the starting, and the guys are getting ready in position, so the lights are warming up. Slight blind spot for us for those lights, so it's more a matter of looking at the riders and listening to the revs as they come up ready for our first race to go for the summer. This is a little bit of anticipation by one of them back there. Don't think it made a lot of difference because he slowed up immensely and get away, but hey, this Dave Fellows machine will be looking good, because Dave's got in there on the Aprilia, and Brad will tell us a little bit more about that as the race goes on through this fantastic first super curve here at Taupo, of course. And with the Taupo circuit, of course, here we go. Just for something different, we're a little bit like some of the South Island circuits. We go in an anti-clockwise direction. Taupo Motorsport Park, and we are away with our first race. And Brad, so much level excitement. What a buzz in the pits today. Everybody, of course, positive about being here for a start. We can finally have some quality road racing. When you look at a field out there, which is numbering probably about 18 riders, good to have the volume here today.
Yeah, it's really a good mixture of machines out there as well. So this 6-lap journey, this will fly. These guys are on good pace. Chris Fiore out there on his MT-07 Yamaha. It's a Pro Twin entry, so he's out there flying at the moment, and a great little pack emerging from the race. It's really cool, and yeah, like I say, real good buzz, and fantastic to see all of the action here. North Island Road Racing Spectacular. Look at Aon and Pirelli. A massive big thank you to Nicole NXT Motocross and Track Time, and some of the key members getting us at the raceway. We've got 4 of them going at it, and coming out of the back end of the circuit on the way down the back straight for the first time. This is all on here, and you see some of those bikes pull away down the back straight. This is going to be awesome. How good is this?
Yeah, great to see as we come into that braking chicane as we go. Of course, they flop in and they go immediately, go left, right. It's a little bit more right around than you normally expect. In fact, the first time I ever went over and looked at that part of the track, I thought it actually went in a straight line, but it really is like a mini S-bend to go through there. And we're going 1-2 quickly in a 3-4. That's how quickly the first 4 across the line as we go. In fact, that margin next to nothing. In fact, it is only 1.5 seconds from first back to 4th. So we have Dave Fellows, Richard Markham, Barrett, Chris Forde, and Nick Campenhort out there, of course, the NV man. And those first 3 bikes are Formula 3 with Nick out there as a BS Superstock campaigner, along with club legend and Hamilton man Chris Bridge to knock his pace through there in a 5th position. So good to see that we really have established a quality lineup. Quickly to mention some of the other names through there, Scott Finlay, he's been a good one to talk about for many good years. Carl Cappenhort, of course, when we acknowledge Nick as well, so that's his brother, the builder, that gets out and goes with him there. And even looking back to somebody like Alex Johnston, no slug when it comes to racing, and there he is finding himself in amongst those F3 boys. So great start with our combined classes, Brad. We'll see more of the combined classes today, and it really does give an opportunity when you see a circuit like Taupo, that and sometimes you think, oh, is there a lot between them? No, actually there's not. An F3 bike and a Beers super stock, they're pretty well, I suppose you'd say, amplified as being close together in racing.
Yeah, it's really good machines out there. And like you say, Taupo, it's got the fast flowing corners, it's got the tight stuff and the long back straight. So there is something for everyone. And you see different bikes coming to their own in different parts of the track. So here we go, a real good battle for the lead coming on here into the flip flop. And Dave Fellows, Richard Mark and Barrett really going at it at the moment. There's nothing between them. And then Christy Fury in there with Nick Campbell. So beautiful vid pillar. It sounds amazing, that machine. And we'll get racing. So genuine four-way battle. That's gone into the distance. They've distanced themselves quite a bit from 5th, 6th and 7th, which is also a real good dust up there with Chris, Dean and Scott. They're just crossing the line now. So anyone's at the moment for that. Two different classes. We'll try and keep an update of it. But at the moment, it's Dave Fellows leading the way in the real class. I think Aprilia 660. The TR20 Motorsport team. Great to have them. Dylan Telford, he's riding a superbike today as well. So we'll look out for that. But yeah, like you say, these combined classes are really what's going to be key to get New Zealand road racing going again. And we'll see that a common theme throughout this weekend. It's going to be awesome.
I think we'll see that as a theme, rightfully said, Brad, really over the entire year as we just get class back together. Of course, when you've got a sort of, I suppose you'd say, a bubbling sport, that everything's going along so well, you've got each of them as an opportunity to prosper on their own. But when it comes to the challenges, just use it as that word that we've had, whether they be health-wise or economic-wise, we do have less people at the racetrack, so bringing those classes back together is a great thing, because it still gives you the spirit of race and, more importantly, a target to race. And you've only got to look at Nick Campenhort and Chris Bridges are out there at the moment, because they're just separated by 4 seconds between those top two riders of that Beers Superstock. For the unindoctrinated, Beers is actually a word of initials, Beers British, European and American races, and of course Beers has come about for many years in acknowledging these other bikes that you can see out on circuits. And of course the most famous one of them all, or we're biased of course, was the Britain motorcycle, which was a Beers. It was effectively a non-Japanese motorcycle, and to see of course it is the world champion winning machine back in those early 90 days is just amazing memories to have of World Beers racing. But you've got of course the famous Sound of Thunder, like so many cobbled by COVID this year, but another event that lives on the legend of Beers motorcycle racing. So good to see that super stock class. So the super stock, in fact, referring to the fact that they are not a factory bike, they're effectively a bike that's available off a showroom floor, ready to go riding on the roads, and then just converted into a road race bike. So it's not in fact a race bike as such, but many of our classes, of course, superbikes are a pure example of that, as are 600s. But Formula 3 on the other end is immensely modified motorcycles, and other than the CC capacities that put in place for that, and fuel and other things, the rest of it is go out there and make the bike go as fast as possible and go out there and win races. And man, oh man, we're seeing that at the front of the field at the moment. Dave Fellows, you actually wouldn't really call that a Beers bike, but he's CC wise it's compatible to Formula 3, so he's put that new Aprilia. Brad, you had an opportunity to check it out pre-race. What did you think?
It looks and sounds fantastic. It's a really cool machine, and yeah, what an awesome guy Dave Fellows. Just really quite new to the sport of road racing, but man, he's turned some heads in a short space of time, and doing really good now. So we've got him out there. Richard Mark and Barrett, he is out there as well. Those are both F3 bikes, so and Christy Fury. So it's actually a full-on top 3 in the race, top 3 in the class, and then Nick camping out on that MD motorcycle, and that's actually a Beers Superstock. So 4th in the race, but he's the first of the Beers Superstocks coming through at the moment. So this battle for the lead, electric at the moment. It is still Dave Fellows ahead of Richard Mark and Barrett, but there's nothing in it. We've only got 2 laps to go now.
Right, so talk about these boys out in front, and although they're in Formula 3 where you can modify the bike, these boys have both got production-based motorcycles and doing oh so well. And what about iTools? Must congratulate them for the Playday Motul 6-hour win a few weeks ago, and congratulations to that team again for putting on an event when the tide's against running so many motorcycle events around this country. It's so good that clubs and others have really pushed on to make events, and that was another one, and that was a day clouded as well by some ugly weather. through the Auckland Counties region, and as well back at Pukekohe. There's been a few people that have been critical of it, but all I say is it's another great racetrack, and more importantly, people making safety improvements to it can only make it better, and reintroducing. So you've effectively now got through Manfield, Taupo, Hampton Downs and Pukekohe as race certified motorcycle tracks back in the North Island alone, let alone the fact, of course, the South Island pleasure and heather down there of Ruapuna levels and Teretonga. And Brad, you got excited about what's coming up next month in the South Island.
Oh yeah, calling it the South Island Road Racing Safari. It's going to be epic. Yeah, 10 days, and 6 of those days are on the track, and the TT titles up for grabs, GP titles up for grabs. It's going to be absolutely special. So get in touch with the clubs down there, or get yourselves together. You've got to get down there. The South Island Road Racing Safari. Well done to all the people involved getting that underway.
Yeah, it is certainly special. So, yeah, please, details catching it. It sort of indirectly centres around those GP or Grand Prix titles at Ruapuna for Easter weekend, just like it used to be all those years ago. So, and when you put, exactly as Brad is saying, some midweek racing into it, it's great to see. Yes, indeed, the white flag's out for those of you that are looking for us. And hey, to the audience out there on Ctas Live, thanks for rejoining us as well, no matter where in this great country or overseas you are. It is so neat to be in the beautiful summer of New Zealand, enjoying our favourite sport of motorcycle road racing, hacking and tracking it again, this time on the spectacular Taupo International Motorsport Park. It did have for some time the branding under the huge name of the Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, but in actual fact it's been more brought back to the fact that it is in Taupo, and Taupo's a brand in itself, and the circuit is capitalising on that fact. So it's not just a matter of coming to a racetrack here, it's a matter of coming to Taupo, this beautiful part of the country, the adventure paradise, and doing so many other things like the beautiful lake has to offer, and the safaris of the rivers here, and the mountains and the hills, and there's just so much that Taupo has to offer, and this is now just part of it. So the International Motorsport Park, piggybacking off that great name, Taupo, the adventure paradise. We're all having a little bit of a laugh this morning because at the briefing it was mentioned about, in the case of an emergency, where to assemble, which, hey, is something we need to do for health and safety at all times. That part was great. But one of the things that was mentioned was maybe a tsunami might be the reason for it. Well, all we could think about is if Taupo gets a tsunami, well, I'm sorry, New Zealand, you're in a lot of trouble, because we are so far above the sea level that a tsunami here, I don't think would be a worry for us. Here we are, back to it, Brad, and we're down to the final stages. Bring us home.
Yeah, this is it. One last chance. Richard Markenberry's had a look up the inside. I don't think he's quite close enough. I think it's going to stay, and number 14 is going to get it done. That's Dave Fellows on the TR20. Aprilia gets the 3 win in the books. Well done to him. Richard Markenberry chased it the whole way and didn't quite get there in the end. We then look at rounding off the podium, Chris Fiore on the MT-07 Yamaha. He'll go from third and then go through Nick Cameron out there. NV Motorcycles, Vid Pillen, that beautiful 701 Husqvarna engine, and that Split Pillen. He'll finish the first of the Bears Super Stock coming home. So well done to him. Then we get the three-way fight coming through. That's going to be Chris Bridgecott, Finlay, Cole Williams. They will finish 5th, 6th and 7th in the race. Dean Sumner comes through in 8th, and waiting for a few more of our competitors. But well done, that's our first race in the books, and well done to the man Dave Fellows. He's got the win, and it's going to be pretty promising looking at that racing all weekend. It's hot.
Now, I want to talk about the fact that the first 5 bikes in the race, and I'll go through them for you. First of all, the race was won by an Aprilia with a KTM second and a Yamaha third, a Husqvarna fourth, and a Ducati in fifth. How's that? All right, so that gives you an idea of the flavour of the event and the kind of racing we got. And what we were trying to talk about before was when you group these classes together, that although they might normally be racing in a separate group with like-minded and more similar motorcycles, you can actually get a whole lot of different bikes to all come here and have one thing, because that margin in the end, folks, 0.158, less than 2 or less than 1/5 of 1 second. That is just a mega. So great to see Dave and Richard. Yes, he was trying everything, but Dave had the advantage on him. And I'll tell you a little bit about that machine of Dave. It's a beautiful new 2021 Aprilia RS660, of course. So this is a machine that's really going to open up pro twin racing in time to come, and it will be absolutely beautiful. Part of TR20 with Pirelli and Aprilia, alongside Scooterazzi, KSS suspension race supplies, horsepower motorcycles, AGV race helmets, Redline Performance, engine oil, just to name some of the sponsors of Wellington Nice Guys. Brad mentioned a late joiner to our sport, Dave Fellows, but man, has he turned heads in a short time. Speaking about being Wellington based, so too is the Vic Club, who are at home at Mighty Manfield is their circuit, but they often have a round at Taupo, but unfortunately that one this year has been canned, so they won't get back to Taupo, but they've got their first of their club rounds in a couple of weeks. And Brad, good to know that clubs are re-kicking off, and I'm sure even the political scene will change within the next couple of weeks, and hopefully maybe the advent of a few more spectators or the opening up of the pits area, we'll see more people coming to join it, because the Vic Club back at Manfield, that'll be big.